IBM's strategy involves selling clients on its platform like OpenShift and Watson X, which generates a multiplier effect. CFO Jim Kavanaugh revealed that every $1 of revenue spent on these platforms results in $3 and $5 additional spending on software, and between $6 and $8 additional on services. Rob, I don't know if this story matches the other
actually
one.
I can connect the two, though, PBD, because it's super important.
Okay, so then let me read the whole thing, and then I'll turn it over to you. IBM, while offering its own public cloud computing platform, partners with leading technology companies like AWS, Microsoft, and others. These partnerships have driven significant bookings for IBM, with Kavanaugh stating, our strategic partnership, we've got multi-billion-dollar book of business with AWS, with Microsoft, and SAP, and SAP, and next up are going to be Salesforce with Oracle and Adobe coming up. So tell us more about the story.
So that story didn't get a lot of headlines about AI, it's developing. But what the other IBM story is, which is going viral thanks to James O'Keefe, is this one, where IBM was caught on camera, their CEO saying, give bonuses only to black employees and don't give them to white people. We should actively discriminate against white people. America First Legal has slammed IBM. They're potentially going to sue over a Title VI complaint. So what do the two have to get together, right? Anti-white attitudes, IBM, and AI.
Tell us.
Well, AI, it's who's going to write the ethics and the morals of the AI of tomorrow. So AI is going to become a woke superweapon.
Oh, shit.
So think about it. Who's going to tell AI right from wrong? Well, the code of ethics that govern IBM is going to be infused into the operating protocol of AI. So that story doesn't seem like it's related. Okay, they have a press release, they're making all this money in AI. So let's pretend you go into the AI that IBM is developing, a ChatGPT type model, right?
Yeah.
You ask the question, can black people be racist? And the IBM AI would eventually say no. They would say, what is racism? And they'd say racism is not individual prejudice, but a power struggle of what I'm getting at is that two seemingly disconnected stories here, IBM making a ton of money on AI and their woke culture. This is the danger, the clear and present danger of artificial intelligence is less about Terminator. That's a thing, but it's more about giving the woke mind virus a thermonuclear weapon to redesign society. Because at some point, something has to tell the AI what is true and what is good. And the IBM Code of Ethics, I kid you not, I have it in front of me, and you guys can look it up. IBM has a 10 commandments. Elon Musk just responded to this. A 10 commandments, a DEI 10 commandments, allyship commandments. This is IBM. Openly acknowledge privilege and systemic racism exist and result in trauma. 2, never question the reality of our black friends and colleagues. 3, reject the idea that race is political. Accept that white people are responsible for dismantling racism. 5, understanding only white people are racist.
Wait, this is
an official document of IBM.
IBM's document.
Rob, can you pull this up so we can show this to the audience if you have this document?
Yeah, that's it right there. This is O'Keefe broke the story. Number 6, knows the black community owes us nothing in this work. 7, require acknowledgement and repair of inevitable mistakes. 8, is never rooted in white saviorism. 9, sees the black community as a group of individuals and not as a monolith. 10, does not seek recognition or praise for a job well done. So this is called allyship. So I want to just emphasize one of them, and I was just sprouting it to my head. No, understanding that only white people are racist. That is the 10 commandments of IBM. So the 10 commandments of IBM are quietly going to be inputted into the AI of tomorrow. That's connecting those two stories, Patrick. AI is becoming a woke superweapon.
This won't work, though, because this is, again, another one of those ideas that's just not going to work. Folks, if you're looking at this online, Rob, can you do me a favor? Play the first minute of O'Keefe's clip while the CEO of IBM is speaking. We just want to play the first clip.
Arvind Krishna.
Yeah, go ahead and play this clip.
He's the CEO?
He's the CEO,
This
top
not
right.
some low person.
Okay,
this is the CEO of IBM. Go ahead.
So we take underrepresented and gender. You got to move both forward by a percentage. That leads to a plus on your bonus. By the way, if you lose part of your bonus. I'm not trying to finesse this. So for blacks, we should try to get towards 13-point-something%. On Hispanics, you got to get into the mid-teens. So let me say it. Asians in the US are not an underrepresented minority in a tech company.
James O'Keefe here outside of IBM's corporate headquarters in Armonk, New York. An IBM insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people and take away their bonuses unless they discriminate in the hiring process.
Let me go deeper into Red Hat. Multiple leaders over the last year plus that were held accountable to the point that they're no longer here at Red Hat because they weren't willing to live up to the standards that we set in this space. This conversation takes place every single day, and a lot of it's behind the scenes.
They terminated executives that didn't discriminate, yet another violation of Title VII. One of the biggest companies in the world, one of the most valuable and recognizable brands on earth. IBM Insider has provided us with an internal video showing the CEO of IBM, Arvind Krishna, using coercion to fire people.
You can pause it here. You can pause it here. So, okay, Tom, here's a question for you. I got a question for you. You've been around the block, and a company, this is a Dow 30 company.
They're worth $150 billion.
They're not a small company. They're a $150 billion company. They may do something like this. This is as of when, Rob?
Yeah,
this is 1 day?
148 billion. I was right, yeah.
Can you do me a favor? Go to 5 days to see what happens to their stock. Not a big movement. Go to 1 month to see what's happened. Really not a big movement.
They're up over the last year, by the way. They're up 40% over the last year.
How sustainable?
Go to 5 years.
Yeah. Tom, how sustainable is this to have ideas like this within a company as big as IBM?
Well, first of all, Charlie makes a good point. I'll connect back to. Just quick yes or no, and we'll nod here. Do you remember when ChatGPT first came out and kids were asking it like questions, and then people asked questions about faith, and suddenly it was clear that ChatGPT had a bias? Remember this?
Yeah.
We all discovered it, and it was almost seen as, no big deal, nothing to see here. You're just using ChatGPT online to get something answered. Oh wow, it's got a bias. Now you can see where the bias goes, how deep it goes. But let me tell you, my first job out of college was with IBM. I went to IBM Sales School, finished #1 in my classes, you know.
Yep.
You know what, back then, this didn't exist. There was a thing on the wall that simply said, respect for the individual. Whoever the individual was, just respect for the individual.
This is what year, Tom? What year is this?
This is 1987. And right underneath it, it says, our motto is simply think. And that's what it was.
Right.
And that company has devolved
the CEO
into
had it on
this.
his desk. Just think.
Think, and that's what it was. That's devolved. I don't think this is survivable long term. The company, IBM's not going away, but it's not survivable in its current state. It's going to change. It's going to be hit. Because you know what? If IBM has an office in Oklahoma, there's a certain governor that just signed an executive order where you can't do this specifically, and there's a Supreme Court case this year that started with the Asians suing Yale for
was it
admission.
Yale?
Yale for admission. They lost and they went to the Supreme Court, and then we got the anti-discrimination in admissions. It's all connected. IBM, this is going to cause cracks. Some people have, they can't continue this. It's not sustainable in its current state.
You know how they say, go woke, go broke. What's actually going to happen to IBM? What are the ramifications of something like this coming out, Charlie?
Yeah, it's not like Bud Light, because IBM is not used by the everyday person.
Right.
IBM is a lot of tailored type of contracts. It's literally called International Business Machines. That's what IBM stands for. And Red Hat is their hiring agency. Red Hat is the tech sourcing firm for them. So what's going to happen, I don't know, but it should be a reminder that as we barrel towards artificial intelligence, we have to figure out very simple answers to the question of what is true, what is good, what is right or wrong, by what is the code of ethics that we operate. And this is something that you look at what IBM believes in. They believe their 10 commandments are understand that only white people are racist, except that white people are responsible for dismantling racism, so on and so forth. And so artificial intelligence is going to be used as a way where an 8-year-old is going to type in very basic questions, and they are going to socially reprogram millions and tens of millions of people. And this is why Elon, I think Elon, with his prophetic ability to see things before they happen, and immense amount of courage. I'm a huge Elon fan. I think Elon, what keeps Elon up at night, and the reason he's acting the way he is he's connecting dots. Woke mind virus with AI. He has said this as much, where there will be a time where you ask AI something and it will give you an answer as if it's authoritatively true, even though it isn't.
Charlie, can I say one thing, Charlie? So we keep hearing all this type of stuff. See what IBM, you just see this anti-white
That's
rhetoric
right.
is happening. Charlie,
There's a war on white people.
and here's my thing. What's the overall, like, what the hell are they trying to do? Like, what's going on? They're actively trying everywhere, all over Europe, everywhere. It's just an influx of everybody else, and to hell with us and to hell with our country.
So part of it is very masochistic. There are some people that just hate themselves, honestly, and they've been told to hate themselves, filled with guilt. It's basically slow motion suicide. However, whiteness is a filler term to just say power structure, those people in power, right? So it is a Marxist framing of the world, oppressor, oppressed, and they say white people are the majority, therefore they are in control. And we must try and dismantle them. Look at the mayor of Boston. You're pulling it up right now. Yeah. Boston Wu, who has segregated Christmas parties where white people are not allowed. By the way, there are black-only dormitories at dozens of colleges, probably hundreds now, dozens that I know of, black-only dormitories. And this is where it ends up. It ends into this really sick racial apartheid state where white people have less rights. I'll give you another example. When monoclonal antibodies were distributed in the city of New York, until they got caught, they were prioritizing people of color in the city of New York. Life-saving monoclonal antibodies were distributed and were prioritized to people of color, and white people had to wait. Now, they got caught. It's against the law, and they retreated. Go look up the new University of Michigan Hippocratic Oath, where the doctors and nurses of tomorrow, see, look at that, New York City will consider race when distributing life-saving COVID treatments. So where are we heading? We are headed to an AI-based social credit system where if you are white, you have points docked against you. That if you're a person of color, you get special tokens. This is a reconfiguration of racial apartheid. It's the death of meritocracy, and it's a backdoor way to destroy Western civilization. Because Western civilization is against this crap. It's against the toxicity that race matters.
One more thing on this topic. So a month ago, maybe even 2 weeks ago,
they can hear us now.
Hey
Hi,
guys.
everybody.
Hi, everybody.
See, now we can get some spirit going, right?
Fantastic.
I'm glad we got that.
Night and day. Yes,
So,
that's good.
Shout out to James O'Keefe, because why is this so important? A month ago, not even less than a month ago, the biggest story in the news was what was going on with ChatGPT and Sam Altman, right? The hostile takeover of the company.
He was in, he was out.
He was in, he was out. Now he's back in officially. But these types of conversations, especially around AI, need to be had now.
Yes.
The sooner the better, for the sake of humanity.
Yes, and so what Elon wants is, he says, why can't we have an AI that is not programmed political, as if you're asking MSNBC the questions, or you're asking Nicole Hannah-Jones, you're asking Robin DiAngelo. That's a good goal, whether it's achievable or not. And so, Patrick, that's a question. And the question for you, because you alluded to this, we didn't really land the plane. Is this popular? Is this going to continue? Here's the issue. The regular people here at America Fest, by the way, people of all different skin colors and backgrounds and diversity, they think this is terrible. The question, though, is that the elites, they're buying into this. The elites are bought into an anti-white, anti-Western, anti-Christian agenda. This is going to reach a boiling point because the grassroots, the people aren't putting up with it. This is a top-down revolution.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.